This video is going to show you how to insert tables. When you first look at the document that I've got on screen, you'll see three tables. This is the most regularly used purpose of tables. This one here, at the top one that I'm currently on here, this one is a table that would store databases. Now when you're working with databases within tables, the field items, each field represents what we term a field, which is an item of a record. So we've got the name field, the street field, the postcode field, and then each row represents a record. So we've got Mary Smith from 10 High Street, Saltburn, Cleveland, and TS 1214. So the fields go down the columns and the records go across the rows, and that's what would be used like a database. Then you've got this type of table. This is like you would use Excel, where you would calculate numbers and things like that. Now if I just change that to, let's say, 200, and then I come over here and say update field, notice that's automatically calculated out. I haven't got automatic update on, that's why I've had to do it manually. But to do the entire table, you would just highlight the table and do F9 on the keyboard, and that automatically updates the entire table. The F9 updates fields. And then you've got this type of table. Well, this is where you would use more for the layout and creating flyers and posters and things like that. It's when you want certain data laid out in a certain way, we would use tables just like that. Now the most popular way of inserting a table, there's three ways that you can do it, and either one's as powerful as each. But what you would do is you'd go up to insert, you come down to the tables group here, and then you've got the tables drop down menu. Now notice here you've got insert table, yeah, and each one of these little squares represents a row and column. So now I'll be putting a table in 2 by 2. Just watch this section here. So 2 by 2, 2 columns by 2 rows. If I say 4 by 4, there you go, you've got 4 columns, 4 rows. You just click the last one, boom, and there you go, look, you've got a table in 4 columns wide by 4 rows deep. And that is as simple as it is to insert a table. If you want to add additional rows to these tables, when you go into the last cell like so, and you just press the tab key, and each time you end up in that last cell like so, it will add an additional row. So you can extend your table as you enter in your data, which is a really powerful item. Then you can just literally notice when you've got your tables in, notice up here you've got your contextual menus, you've got your table tools, you've got your design tab, which this one will do all the design side of it, so it'll format your table for you, as you can see there. And the layout is where you would insert things and, you know, delete them and view the properties and things like that as well. So this one's working on the table, this one's making it look pretty. But either way, you can do pretty much what you want. Now the next way of inserting a table is going to insert table, and then you come down to insert table. Now this gives you a little dialog box, and this is where you can say the number of columns is 5 or whatever you want. You can spin it to what you want or just type it in. The number of rows you can put in to what you want, and then you've got the fit behavior. Now fixed column widths you can set a certain size, so you can dictate what size you want it, or you can say just auto. I always leave it on auto, and that just puts it between margins. But you could say I want 2 centimeters, so column widths of 2 centimeters, and it'll put 4 columns in at 2 centimeters. wide, which is good if you know exactly what you want. That's really good. Then you've got fit to contents. Now obviously that means it will fit to the contents of each cell, but it'll pick the widest cell that it finds and then it'll adjust it to that width. Or you can say auto fit to window, and that just goes between margins basically, but that would work whether you were at landscape orientation or portrait orientation, so it's really good. And then this one would be remember dimensions of new tables. So if I set them at, let's say, 4 columns at 2 inch each, or 2.5 centimeters, or whatever it is, then every table thereafter, if I've put a tick in this box, every table thereafter would be the same. Really good if you're doing tables on a regular basis. So we're inserting a table here. We're going to say number of columns is 4, number of rows is 6. We're going to have them fixed column widths automatic, meaning it's going to be automatic between the margins, and we'll just say OK there. There you go, look, 1, 2, 3, 4 columns and 6 rows down. And as you can see there, real quite nice and easy. Now the next way of putting a table in is what we call the draw method. Now you go to the insert ribbon again, you go down to the tables group, and this time you say draw table. Now when you're drawing a table, notice that my mouse pointer has changed like a little pencil, and I draw a little border on here like so. Notice on the contextual table tools menu, the design tab, over here in the draw borders, I've got the table, draw table, and the erase table. And notice here I've got the line style. Now I've picked this double line style, and I've picked 3/4 point, the size of the thickness of the line, and I've picked the pen to be a blue colour. So if I say now, well, I'm okay with that, I've got my outline drawn, so now I want to put a straight line, we'll put it at 1.5, and I want the colour to be blue. So now when I draw, watch, I'll go from it. Now if I don't go from one side to the other, what will happen is it would draw me another table inside. And notice now I've got a big header, I can pick the column widths that I want to pick, and then I can pick this column width, what I want to pick here, and there you go, look, easy as anything. And I can pick and draw pretty much what I want. When I want to turn the pencil off, notice it's still a pencil, I just go up to the design tab in the table tools, design tab, I go to the draw borders, and I just click on draw table. Notice now that's gone. If I want to erase anything on here, I just go to the design tab, the draw borders, pick the eraser up, and now I can erase the rubbers, erase the lines. If I turn the eraser off, I just click it again, it gets rid of that. Absolutely powerful like you wouldn't believe. When it first come out I weren't real keen on it, but once you've used it after a while, it does become really good. So inserting tables are very easy. There's nothing difficult about inserting tables whatsoever. When you're working with your tables, you need to know how to select the tables in as well. Now if you're going to be selecting a table, just cells, you literally just highlight the cells. Now if I just, let's imagine that I just put some text in here, and imagine we've just got them, and I want to highlight them. Now I can go in the bottom left hand corner of any cell and click, and that will just select that one entire cell. If I do that and then go across the cells, notice I can do as many cells as I want, so I can just literally extend it as I want to extend it. And then once I've got them all selected, I would just literally do what I want to do with them like you would normal formatting. We'll center them, we'll put a bit of bold on, we'll change the colour to, let's say, whatever colour we want, and then that would just work as simple as that. Alternatively to selecting them in that manner, I could literally, if I want to select an entire column, all I have to do on the column is go there, bang, there's one column. If I want more than one column, I just click and drag across the columns. Easy as anything. If I want to select a row, I just go to the side of the row, click. If I want more than one, I just click and hold and drag down, and that selects the cells as well. If I want to put a record in here, let's say that I just say Mary and then just imagine that. Now if I want to insert, I go to the table tools, design, layout, and then I go insert above, that's a row above, insert below, it would put a row in below, so I'll say above. Notice now it's shoved the records down. If I want to insert a column, I just place my cursor whichever column. I can insert a column to the left, or I can insert a column to the right. It is so easy, absolutely fantastic. If you want to delete, you just place your cursor in the row or column and you come to the table tools, layout, rows and columns, and you click on the delete button. Notice I can delete cells, I can delete columns, I can delete rows. I'll delete that row, look, there it's deleted. I can delete columns, so if I go into the, let's say, the town column, and then I go in there and delete the column, that's gone. Or I could delete the table and just click deleted the table. And basically that is as easy as it is to work with the tables, inserting items, columns and rows. Just be careful when you're deleting cells on their own, because if I delete a cell, notice how Mary comes from Saltburn, and the next record underneath would come from, we'll just let's say Bob, and Bob comes from Leeds. If I delete Saltburn, as you'll see in 1 second, and I just take the cell out, notice shift cells up, notice now Mary's coming from Leeds. So it's not recommended just to delete cells. Don't, it's a big no-no. Take entire columns or entire rows fine, but not single cells, because it can mess your databases up.